Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. And in today's video, I'm finally uploading the video where I evaluate your videos, yay, from the 50K giveaway. And so I do have a few little disclaimers before we begin the video. I just kind of wanted to make note of some of the videos that I saw because I did go through or skim through every single one of them and just randomly chose the ones that actually follow the rules. There's a lot of talented people. I can see the potential, I can see the passion, but there are also a lot of you guys that cannot follow rules. Guys, it's not that difficult. It just kind of makes me concerned for what you guys actually submit to actual auditions. Hopefully you do that a little bit more carefully because they're actual official auditions, you know, you want to follow their rules. Like literally someone submitted a 7-minute long video. Yeah. And then there are people that submitted multiples of their videos in different categories under different names. And so, you know, enough of the sighing. I want to get to some actual things, the actual tips that might help you guys for your audition that doesn't necessarily apply to the people that were randomly chosen. And so I'll read off of my notes. So every person that included an introduction video before their like singing, dancing, rapping video, it was extremely unnecessary. And especially those who didn't speak Korean fluently, it was very difficult to watch because first, I could not understand you. And second, if I could understand you, your grammar was really off. Like you moved from like formal to informal speech and it just did not seem right. As I always say in any video, you want to make sure that you show off what your strengths are in the first audition video, not what your weaknesses are, right? Just because you speak Korean does not mean that it'll give you a bonus point. It's only a bonus point if you actually speak it well and properly. So all that to say, never add an introduction video unless they specifically ask for one. And even if they do ask for an introduction video, you want to do it in a language that you can actually speak it. So English would be preferred after Korean, but you know, Japanese, Chinese also works. And some people did like copied, I guess, my audition experience video songs. So like they did Alien, and it was, you know, like if you are going to copy it, go for it. I'm proud that I influenced your choices, but you know, do it in tune. So many people used Someone That I Used to Know by Louis Capaldi, I think it was, just specifically that song. I'm pretty sure I've seen like 20 of them within like the hundreds of people that submitted their form, maybe even the 1,000, but I don't know. Like there were a lot of people who sang that song, and like at the end of it I was just so sick of that song. And I'm pretty sure like 50 people chose Blackpink song, not like a specific one, but like a lot of Blackpink songs. That kind of tells you something. So the conclusion is, don't choose popular songs. If you feel like more than like 5 people are going to sing it or dance to it, never do it. I was sick of it just looking at all of the audition videos, but imagine how the judges feel. You know, you don't want to make them feel like that. You know, you want to be unique, different. That's kind of what the point of auditions are. They want something new, and to do that with a common song that they've seen so many different times, it's very typical, not really thinking outside of the box. And if you're curious about the categories that people chose, it was very just like this category video that I made. It was like a poll, and I kind of extracted your responses and saw which categories were preferred, which one you guys personally did or were best at, things like that. But anyway, it was very similar to those results, and so it was very 50-50 of singing and dancing and a bit of rapping. Still a lot of rapping, but like it was very 50-50 between singing and dancing. Most of it were those two categories. We are going to jump into the videos, but I just wanted to give you guys a little disclaimer. There are a lot of people that see other videos on the internet and then compare themselves with it. So please, I beg you, please do not do that. That is just one way of destructing yourself so easily and your confidence. And what you need is confidence for an audition. And so if you see someone that is weaker than you, then you want to kind of point out what they could work on and see if that applies for you. And then when you see someone that's better than you, let's say, then you want to see what their strengths are and how you can apply that for yourself. You want to learn from these people, not compare them. You know, comparing really does nothing except obstructing your confidence and actually evaluating them and seeing what they lack and what their strengths are and things like that. That's actually so beneficial towards you. So you want to have that kind of mindset, not like, oh, I can't do this just because they're better than me, or like, oh, I'm so much better than everyone because I am better than them. You know, those both mindsets are just terrible to have. What this video really is obviously evaluating these people and giving tips to them, but also for you too, because even if your video isn't here, because you can apply all of the criticisms that I tell you guys into your singing, dancing, rapping too. So please keep that in note, and also just see what you can improve, you know, through this video. That was an extremely long intro. Let's get on with the first person. Her name is Gia, and she did Like I'm Gonna Lose You by Meghan Trainor and John Legend. This was kind of a popular song choice, one to avoid, but let's actually listen to it. I'll play the video.
Wherever we're standing, I won't take you for granted, 'cause we'll never know when we run out of time. So I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you.
And this is a popular song choice, as I said, but it really does show your vocal strengths so well. Like the range that you have, it shows it so well, your high notes, all of that. But one thing I would work on is your enunciation, otherwise known as your pronunciation. So you do lack clarity when you say, like, I'm gonna love you, that part. You do lack clarity in it, and it goes a little bit more flowy than it should. Obviously, this song is more slow, more, I guess, emotional, so you do want that, but it could also have more clarity when it comes to your pronunciation. And I always tell you guys to add something of your uniqueness, and this person perfectly did that through adding those little, I guess, notes that are not in the actual song, and so it made it kind of like an acoustic version without the guitar. And it was really nice to hear because she hit all the notes correctly, perfectly, and it was nice to hear. It was actually pleasant to hear. And obviously, when someone that doesn't really, I guess, match in tune, or they can't hit the high notes, do these overly extra things, it does not sound nice just because of it's not what their strengths are, you know? They're trying to overdo it and trying to show off what they don't have. Okay, so the next person is also vocal actually, and his name is Patrick, and he did Joy's Hello. So let's go listen to that.
외로운 날들이요 모두 다 안녕 내 마음속에 인물들도 잊지는 않냐 어차피 난 바람을 타고 멀리 후회로 없이 미련 없이 날아가 Goodbye 영원히
So firstly, I'm really glad that he changed the song into a key that he was comfortable with, and he wasn't trying to force himself into a range that he couldn't hit. So he didn't hit the high notes necessarily. However, that is all great, but this song, like kind of like the most important point of the song is the high notes. They are kind of like the highlight of the song. They are, I guess, sung to be high notes, I guess, and so it doesn't really feel that special when it's in a lower key. So all that to say, it's all good. However, when it comes to a song where the high notes are the most important part of the song, then it's not really a good choice. And so another thing that I wanted to add is the hand movements. He did a lot of hand movements within this video, and so hand movements are always good as long as they're natural. So maybe when you're hitting a high note, maybe going like that, it's all good. And maybe, you know, grabbing your heart just a little bit, like, you know, that's all fine. But when you do a little bit too much, it's a little bit cringy and a little bit difficult to watch just because how unnatural it is. So I would try to make your hand movements more natural. Don't try to force it, you know? It doesn't have to be like a music video. It's just of a video of you singing. That's all they really look for. So he did na da ga. That was okay, like that hand movement, but when he does the hello, like that's a little too much. Same goes for his expressions as well. I just feel like they aren't extremely natural. And one more thing, he did choose a Korean song and his pronunciation wasn't perfect. So in those cases, I would not go for a Korean song. Again, it shows your flaws rather than your strengths, and you don't want to show that. So for this person, I would recommend changing their song choices to suit their abilities and kind of choose a song that shows off their strengths. Okay, so the next person did Dance, and her name is Rachel, and she did Paint the Town by Luna. And actually a lot of people did this, so maybe it's not like a preferred song choice, but let's see how she does. So first thing I noticed is that this song is extremely powerful. It has to be danced in a powerful manner, just like how Luna dances it. And because of the intense choreographies, you also need to match your intenseness with it. And so you do kind of lack power here. Her hand movements aren't exactly clear, which also contributes to that. Your hands need to be clear, your arms need to be clear, your leg movements need to be clear in order to have power. Just with loose kind of moves, you aren't going to achieve that amount of power that you need. So when it says, no way, you can make a stop, I think it's like that. When you kind of like point your arms in the sky, you want to do it a lot more strong, a lot more powerful, and really point them up. Make sure your arms are straight, just like how Luna does it. You really need to evaluate how the artists themselves dance to the song when it comes to dancing and see how they do it. And also, your facial expressions do lack. You do need to have a little bit more than that to add on to the stage presence. And one thing you can do, just like a base, I guess a starter point, is just to lip sync the words, and then you can kind of build on from there. Lip syncing just isn't enough. And when it goes la ta 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 ta, you want to be less jumpy, and again, like I said, more clear, more powerful, and you kind of need to make an impact with all of the footsteps that you do, instead of just kind of jumping around them, skipping around the more difficult moves. And then there is a part in just the middle of the song where you just kind of stop and just stand there. It's highly unnatural. That it probably isn't the choreography either. And so please just make sure that your leg movements and your arm movements match along. So you've got really the basic start, but that's really all it seems like. You need more practice, you need more stage presence in order to make this more of a performance than you just kind of simply dancing. And so the next person is Rhea, and she did Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. Let's go see her singing video.
안녕하세요. 나 이름은 리아입니다. 난 15살입니다. 그리고 난 인도에서 왔습니다. Hello everyone, my name is Ria. I'm 15 years old and I'm from India. And today I'm auditioning for the singing category. I'm going to sing this song Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. I hope you enjoy it. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. Whoa, caught in a bad romance. Whoa, caught in a bad romance. Da da da, rama rama gaga la la. Want your bad romance. Thank you.
And so even though the introduction was short and sweet, it still is highly unnecessary. So when judges look at your video, they probably look at your video first and then go on to the personal information about you. So if they actually liked your singing, then they would go to the personal information, and all of that things that you said in the video can be found in the actual form. So you don't really need to recite all of that all over again. You're just kind of wasting the judges' time. If it isn't something that they asked for, don't add it. And also the Korean, again, was lacking, so I really recommend that you don't add that in. This is probably one of the better ones, which is a little concerning because there were a lot of bad ones where I'm like, what are you saying? And there was no English translation afterwards either, so I really could not understand by your pronunciation. However, let's go on to the actual singing part. So firstly, I think this song choice is amazing for her. Her vocal range really does show, and I can really sense that power, I guess, and it adds on to the stage presence as well. And when she switched the key to a higher key, that was very impressive. Definitely showing your strengths, which is a higher range and more of like a wide range as well, in your ability to hit high notes. So that's something that you want to actually show off. So if you have like a low vocal range, then you also want to show that off instead of pretending like you can hit high notes, you know? And the ending was really perfect. Maybe the snapping was a little unnecessary, but if you feel like you do need to do it, go for it. It's not too distractive, I don't think. So the last person is Darushi, and she did Stay by Blackpink. Remember when I said there was a lot of Blackpink songs? This is what I mean. But let's go see her video.
I just want you stay. 점점 무뎌지자는 말을 표현어 벽에 성에 천천 눈에를 나는 문을 마치 표현어 벽에 성에 나에게는 많은 사랑하지만 그게 나한테 봐
그래도 stay.
So her Korean pronunciation is not amazing. So really just avoid songs that have Korean pronunciations if you can't do it. And actually a lot of people choose Stay by Blackpink as their audition video when they're singing. Maybe they think it's because it's an emotional song, which it is, but it's not really a good song to show off your vocal abilities. It's more of like a talk sing song, especially in the parts that she sang. So it's really showing nothing of her strengths. It's just showing that she can talk sing, which is not really beneficial. And her voice does seem to be more of a whiny voice because it has that nasal sound to it. So you really want to remove that and just sing naturally. Most people have a nasal sound when they're trying to make a voice, try to produce a sound that they cannot achieve. Her singing, I really don't feel any emotions through it. In fact, it just seems like she's singing, period. You know, like there's really no effect of her singing, and I really don't feel anything from it. And that is a really bad choice for a singer, like a reaction that someone should have when they're like listening to someone singing, because the point of singing is to kind of move someone, feel wows, you know? And when the judges don't feel that, it's an easy pass. You know, they aren't going to accept you because you aren't different. You don't stand out from everyone else. Really just her expressions, the way she kind of looks into the camera, I just didn't feel anything. And probably if I didn't listen to the lyrics beforehand, or like I didn't know the song itself, I probably would not know what she's like singing because of her pronunciation. So all in all, to say, please change your song choice and improve your vocal. I feel like you have the potential, but it's just not improved whatsoever. It's just really in the working stages. So that is all I have to say for the 5 people that I randomly chose. And so I will do this giveaway for 100K, guys. Get me to 100K and I'll do this for 10 people, you know? Maybe it can be like a tradition. Maybe for like 200K we can do 20 people. That's a lot, but you know, we can still do that. Well, I hope this video helped you guys. This is what happens when you film a video back to back. And a lot of people choose Stay by Blackpink, but I feel like you have the. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, I forgot this. Make sure to comment down this emoji if you made it until here. And I will see you guys next time. This video is kind of a mess, you know. I'm tired, okay? Bye. Oh, bye. Oh my god. This always happens. Bye.